What's up guys, welcome back once again to Diddy Reviews. I'm Adam from Diddy Reviews, thanks for joining me. Today I've got yet another cooler. You're probably getting sick of seeing coolers, but this one is a big one. This one is my first ever 360 AIO that I've reviewed. This is from Bitspower. I want to say massive thank you to them for sending this out. And this looks incredible from the box so far. Like I say, we'll review this. This is the Cyclops 360. Which has no-toss X-tail fans. I assume that's how you pronounce it. It's like I say, it's 360, so 3 times 120mm fans, and it's fully ARGB. Yeah, so basically what we'll do is we'll get it unboxed, we'll show you what it looks like, we'll get it installed, and then we'll do some testing. I'll do my usual testing of Cinebench and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, just to give you an idea of both maximum capacity and sort of an everyday sort of real world scenario of how well this performs. So let's get into it. Right, so as I mentioned in the beginning, this is the Cyclops 360 from Bitspower, so let's take a quick look around the box. Right, straight up you can see obviously a picture of the product. The RGB fans look really good on this one. It's got sort of like a crystal effect to them, and there is pump infinity sort of ARGB on the pump itself, which is nice to see as well. It is LGA 1700 compatible, and it's for both AMD and Intel, and works with all your ARGB software, so Polychrome, MSI Mystic Light, Aura Sync, Gigabyte RGB Fusion, everything, even Razer Chroma as well. Around to the back, we'll just have a look at some of the specifications of it. So your radiator size is standard 27mm thick, 360mm radiator, made out of aluminium as standard. Pump speed's 2,500 RPM. It's a 3-pin connector for the pump. The base plate material is copper, which again is normal for these kind of things. Your fan size is standard 120mm fans by 25mm. And your airflow on these fans is 44 CFM with a 2.0mm H2O, which is pretty decent. And they're 4-pin PWMs on up to 1800 RPM. And as I said, they're DRGB 3-pin, 5 volts. And your compatibility, you've got 2066, 2011, 1366, 1150, 1200 and 775, which is, and obviously you've got the 1700 as well, as I mentioned before. And then your AMD, you've got MF1, FM2, FM2 Plus, AM4 and AM3. I believe AM4 is going to be the same as AM5, so it should work for that as well. But don't quote me on that one because I could be incorrect. So let's get into the box. So in the box, as we can see, start off with, you probably can't see that very well on camera. That's a bit better. As you see in the box, we get the installation instructions, which guides you through everything you need to know on how to fix it. Pretty much standard for most AIOs, I expect. Some are a little bit different, but if you need a guide on that, obviously search on YouTube, I'm sure you'll find it, and it gives you an idea of everything you should get in the box as well. Then to the cooler itself, box of accessories. That's just going to be mounting stuff and thermal paste. We won't talk about that. It's pretty much standard for most AIOs. Obviously you get fixed-in brackets for all of them, so put that to one side for now. And then let's get the cooler out itself. There's more brackets and stuff here. These are the Intel ones by the looks of it, 1700, so these have probably been put in separately since 1700 came out, so that's good if you've got a 12th gen CPU. And let's get the cooler out itself. So this is the cooler. Straight away it looks absolutely awesome. I'm really liking this. What should we talk about first? Talk about the pump first. I'll try and get this on camera so you can see. So as you can see, the pump's got sort of a mirrored finish to it. I believe this is an infinity mirror, so when it's turned on you'll see sort of like infinite ARGB rings, and it's black with silver accents on it, which looks really nice. And again, we'll go with sort of any build that you've got really, even white builds, it's look okay inside it. Copper base plate and pre-applied thermal paste, but I will be removing that and using Arctic MX4. The connections on the pump are a SATA connection for power and ARGB connection with a pass-through, so you can plug all your fans into the same place. And then there's the control for it for your PWM fan speed. Then as we look here, we've got 320mm fans which have come pre-installed, which is quite nice to see actually. You normally have to install them all yourself, which I quite like this. They're all ready to go for you, and providing they're actually the right way around, which actually looking at it, all the cables are at the back, as how I would have it, I believe. And let me just, no, all the cables are sort of in the majority, where a majority of people would put them, at the back of it, with this pump coming around like this. Being ARGB fans, and the three of them, obviously there's a lot of cables. They're all daisy chained together already, which is again really nice to see. So all your PWMs are daisy chained together, and your ARGBs are separate, but I will be daisy chaining them together just to make life easier. So you can get that. So obviously you've got 2 cables per fan, which could get a little bit messy, but hopefully it won't be too difficult to sort out. And then the fans themselves, like I say, have got sort of a crystal effect to them, so when the ARGB shines through them, it will sort of show up like a crystal effect, which look really, really nice. And it's all black fan blades on these, with the Bitspower logo in the middle, which you can just about see maybe. Other than that, it's a, like I say, it's a standard 360mm radiator, 27mm thick. And down here, we've got a little port here which says warranty void if removed. Obviously I won't be touching that, but I assume that's so you can actually refill it. Why they'd void your warranty, I'm not sure, to be honest with you, but I suppose that's to cover them for if you get any leaks from doing that. But should be able to top that up at a later stage if you need to. So that's it, let's get it installed and we'll see how well it performs. Right, so there we have the Cyclops 360 from Bitspower. Again, massive thank you to Bitspower for sending this over for review. Now, I'm sure you'll agree with me, in terms of the looks of it, it looks absolutely amazing. It's one of the best AIOs I've ever seen. I've not used many AIOs personally, but in terms of just seeing them online and things like that, this is one of the nicest looking, with those sort of crystal fans, these X-TOS fans I think they're called, something like that. Yeah, they look absolutely amazing. The infinity mirror looks beautiful, with the Bitspower logo in the middle. I didn't realise that was there until I turned it on. And obviously the silver sort of chamfer around the edge looks really nice as well. It's a really nice piece of kit. The tubes are nice and thick, and yeah, they look really good, all nicely coated and everything like that. Talk about one of my sort of gripes with this. It's the only one really I've got, is the sort of installation process. Not so much the process itself, although it can be a little bit fiddly. Again, as I say this, I'm obviously doing it whilst my PC is already built. A lot of people who buy something like this will buy it for the first time and will build it at the same time as building the PC, so you've got to get it installed to your motherboard and then put your motherboard in with it attached, which is definitely going to be the easier way of doing it. With that in mind, I put the radiator on the top and then installed the CPU block. Probably should have done it the other way around, as the cables are probably about an inch too short, so I was having to fight, not the cables, sorry, the tubes. I was having to sort of fight them to get it in, and it was quite difficult to do. But I got it in the end, and yeah, it's nicely fitted now, and it's just the right, it is just the right length once it's on, but it's just quite hard to get it on in the first place. So if you're installing this, put the CPU pump block on yourself first. Don't put it on after you put the radiator on, because then you have to fight it. But I suppose it will depend on which way you orient it. I've obviously got the tubes over on the right, and I've got a massive full tower case, so it might be a bit different in smaller cases where the motherboard might sit closer over. I don't know, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's my only gripe with it. Like I say, it looks absolutely amazing. I'm really impressed with it. The other gripe I've got with it is the price. It is quite expensive. Here in the UK it's around £240, which is quite a lot for a 360 AIO. You can probably get a 360 AIO with like a screen on it and stuff like that for a similar sort of price, so this is quite an expensive one. but it is a nice one. It does look really good. So maybe Bitspower could bring the one out with some similar sort of price range with an LCD screen on it, or lower the price of this one. I don't know. It might be cheaper in the US. I'm not sure. I will put some links in the bottom in the description so you can see how much it is in your area, and go from there. Now, in terms of performance, absolutely brilliant performance. Can't fault it whatsoever. Looks really nice. I'll talk you through it. Like I say at the start, I did Cinebench and I did multi-core for 5 minutes to sort of see how it got on, and then I do Shadow of the Tomb Raider to give you a real world experience of how it will perform. As my channel is mainly for PC gamers, I might as well include a game in there so you can sort of see how it will perform doing gaming, which is what most of you guys will be doing. So first of all, we'll talk about Cinebench results. We got a maximum of 65, although it did hover normally throughout most of the tests. It was hovering around 63. 65 was kind of a peak it peaked up to, and then came straight back down in between tests when it was first loading the passes. I had an average of 62, so as you can see, obviously it was a bit lower than 65 for most of the tests. Yeah, absolutely fantastic for all 12 cores. All 12 cores ran generally around 4.1 gigahertz. Did creep up above it a little bit and creep below it a few times, but generally around 4.1, so not bad at all for all 12 cores to be doing that. I think that must be sort of a common thing with Cinebench. It doesn't push the cores singly on their own. It does multi-core tests and keeps them all sort of the same, so that's probably why they don't go much higher than 4.1, as I've noticed with previous tests on other coolers as well. So yeah, the performance on Cinebench, absolutely brilliant. Can't fault it at all. And then I went to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and it's absolutely brilliant. We had a high maximum of 65. Again, this was when loading the benchmark, like first in, it jumped up to 65, but immediately came back down and sat around 55 for most of the test, and got up to around sort of 58 at the end. It was sitting at, like I say, the ones you can see on the screen are like the bits where it peaked, loading in and then coming out of the benchmark. It peaked, but it sat between 55 and 58 through most of the test, and as you can see, 58 was the average. So as you can see, it's performed absolutely brilliantly. And also whilst doing that, the clock speeds were very, very high. Although you can see on the screen, some of them are obviously below 4 gigahertz. Majority of them, for the majority of the time, were at 4.5, 4.6, and then a lot of the time they were running up at 4.7 and 4.8. So as you can see, the cooling capacity is definitely there in this cooler and allows you to run high clock speeds. So if you wanted to overclock and do like a 4.5, 4.6 all-core, this would no doubt manage it, no problem whatsoever. I'm probably going to do a test just outside of this video to see what my motherboard can push it to, using Asus's built-in software, just to see what it can actually get up to. And I'll put that in a pinned comment at the bottom once I've done it, because I don't have time to do it at the moment. But yeah, so conclusion: performance brilliant, looks brilliant, installation okay. Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. If you're looking at buying this and you're not too bothered about the price, you just want something that looks really nice, then this one is for you. It is really good. I've got another couple of 360 AIOs coming up soon, so it'll be interesting to see. They are quite a lot cheaper than this one, see how well they perform against this. But yeah, as it stands, absolutely great cooler. Like I say, I hope this it helps you if you're looking at buying this, or you're looking at which one to buy and you wanted a really nice looking one. This is definitely up there. And I hope this gave you some useful information and you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click a like if you liked it, click dislike if you didn't like it. Let me know in the comments why you didn't like it or why you did like it. Any comments are always welcome. And don't forget to check out my other videos and future videos coming up. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.